Here are 10 updates that Peloton needs to make, or at least I wish they would make, that I think would really improve most members' experience with the Peloton platform. Now, to be fair, they have been making some small improvements bit by bit, which, to be honest, have been hard to cover because, unlike most companies, which typically combine small changes together to make a large update that is noticeable by everyone, for some reason, Peloton likes to release micro updates one by one. Like, for example, Peloton recently added a way for tread users to see distance-based personal records on their profile, and a while ago, they also improved the graphical interface for Lanebreak. And while these small updates are appreciated, the 10 on this list I believe would make a substantially more powerful impact. And a big shout out to today's sponsor, VeloQuip, who you can learn more about later on in the video. Look, I get what Peloton is trying to do with their equipment exclusivity. They don't want a bunch of Peloton members buying other companies' rowers to take their classes, but I think that this exclusivity has been a poor choice. For one, a $44 monthly membership, which they call an all-access membership, should give members, at least in my opinion, all access. That seems to me to be pretty obvious, and if recent reports about the new freemium Peloton app being released in a few months are true, Peloton seems committed to continue calling this tier of membership all access. But secondly, I think they are shooting themselves in the foot here. Peloton has sold like 5,000 rowers, mostly to current members who already pay for a membership, and at the same time, there are over 1 million Concept 2 rowers in people's homes. If Peloton allowed digital members to upgrade to an all-access membership, then those millions of rowers could then all potentially be new Peloton members. And I think this would be dramatically more profitable for Peloton, and again, much better for the current members, many of which kind of feel a bit shafted right now after being cut off from these rowing classes. And look, I know that Peloton is not known for their workout guidance, as they just seem to like throwing out content and leaving it up to each person to decide how they want to put it all together into a cohesive program. But their Power Zone classes are built around the idea of smart training, and yet they still don't offer much of any guidance about how to build a progressive program. And one thing that they do with strength workouts to help with this is they choose a few classes each week to be part of a weekly playlist that is designed to help members with this very problem. And I think it is about time that they do the same with Power Zone rides, or at least make it easier to see how much time each class is spent in each zone, but without having to go to a third-party website to make it more easy to do ourselves. And yes, obviously, I am a big fan of Peloton's Power Zone program. In fact, for me, it's the primary reason I like to use Peloton over some other platforms. So yeah, I would really love to see Power Zone training added to the Peloton Tread, the Peloton Row, and maybe even as an option in Lanebreak. Power Zone training is the one area that gives Peloton a distinct advantage over the competition, and by not having it on equipment outside of their bike, it makes the other equipment feel significantly less useful. Speaking of working out on the Peloton Tread, I don't understand what the current thought process is here. Currently, Peloton pretty much only offers high-intensity run classes with very few, if any, low-intensity options. But no runner trains that way. Almost every runner spends the majority of their time working on lower-intensity workouts, since that's one of the most important components to becoming a better runner. So a lot of the times when I'm using the Peloton Tread, I'm left just ignoring what the instructor is saying and just having to do my own thing, which feels sort of lame, so I'll just mute them and then listen to an audiobook or podcast. But I mean, come on, Peloton, just add some more lower intensity training options. One argument I've seen against this is that it's hard to make that type of class fun and entertaining, but that's just not true. I mean, iFit does it all the time and they do it really well, and even the Power Zone classes on the bike do it well, so it can definitely be done here. Or if it can't be done, at least give us the option to entertain ourselves on lower intensity workouts with access to apps like Netflix. It's crazy to me that Peloton will spend all this money to create a video game mode that almost nobody wanted or uses, and won't add the one thing that would be easy and cheap to add that almost everybody wants, which is the ability to stream media like Netflix. In fact, one of our most popular videos on this channel is how to hack your Peloton to add Netflix. There's a reason for that, and I still have not heard one good logical argument why Peloton should continue to fight so hard to keep it off their platform. And by the way, let me know what sort of changes you would like to see Peloton make in the comments below. Would love to read what you have to think about this. Now, when it comes to updating your experience on the Peloton bike, one of the best things that you can do is add a high quality fan. And when it comes to Peloton fans, the best one available by far is made by today's sponsor, VeloQuip. Not only is a VeloQuip dual fan powerful, but it's also very quiet, adjustable, sits underneath the handlebars so it doesn't interfere with your hand placement or look goofy having to be attached to your screen. It is also rechargeable with a battery that lasts for over 3 hours and can even directly plug into the Peloton bike monitor to have it always charging if you'd like. I've tested over a dozen Peloton bike fans searching for the best one, and the VeloQuip dual fan significantly outperformed all of the others. And for a limited time, VeloQuip is offering viewers of Connect the Watts a 5% discount to their entire store, which also includes their new studio soundbar, which mounts on top of the screen and sounds a lot better than even the Peloton Bike Plus speakers. Check out the video description below for the link and discount code. So next up, we have the video game mode Lanebreak, which is something that as a lifetime gamer myself, I would love to enjoy. And Peloton has built a great framework of what could be a very fun game here, but they never went the extra mile to make it more enjoyable and addicting, so almost no one ever uses it. So Peloton, if you're out there, here's a few ways you can make Lanebreak more fun and popular. You could add weekly challenges that members could complete for points, and those points could be saved up to purchase new skins so we could change up that floating tire with like a donut or a picture of Matt Wilper's face, or save up to earn new backgrounds or even unlock new exclusive classes. And then if you want to make it even more fun, make it multiplayer. Let us jump in with a small group of others to compete against them. There's 100 ways to make this better, and Lanebreak really does have a lot of potential. It just needs a bit of love to feel like, well, like an actual game. Speaking of missed potential, let's discuss the current state of Peloton's stretching classes. There are, of course, lots of pre and post ride and run options available, which for the most part, I think are pretty well done. What's missing is good quality, longer mobility sessions to be done outside of a workout. And Peloton does make these, but in terms of quality, they are easily the worst classes that Peloton offers, with stretches that only ever last like 30 seconds to a minute, quickly moving from one thing to the other. No position is ever held long enough to produce any long-term meaningful improvements to mobility, which is a shame because I would like to take these knowing that I'm going to benefit from them, but the reality is that in their current state, they are more a waste of time than anything else. Next up, we have the Strive score, which was Peloton's attempt to make heart rate tracking more meaningful, which ironically is a score that is mostly meaningless. The Strive score, which converts the time you spend in each heart rate zone into points. Now, when it was first released, a lot of us figured that it was a start to something that they would flesh out and make more useful over time. But it's been almost 2 years now, and the Strive score is as pointless a metric as it was when it was first revealed. So it's long overdue for an update. Even a simple update, like being able to click on your weekly Strive score, for example, to get a breakdown of how long you've spent in each of the heart rate zones, that can be pretty useful. If not that, I mean, any update would be appreciated. It's just strange to see the Strive score still here in its initial useless form. So when it comes to strength, when the Peloton guide was released, one of the biggest selling points was not the movement or the rep tracking, but the vastly superior interface, which not only shows you how long you have left in the current movement, but also allows members to see and prepare for which movements are coming up next. And really, there is absolutely no reason whatsoever that this new and improved layout should only be reserved for the Peloton guide, a device of which was not nor probably will ever be very popular. This same layout could be used on every other device that Peloton offers, should Peloton want it to be, and it's disappointing that it's still only exclusive to that one item. And finally, I would love to see better sports watch integration, specifically in regards to training outdoors. Now, Peloton has already gone and added support for workouts and activities outside, which I think is super smart and great as it allows members to keep all of their workout tracking together on the one Peloton platform. But unfortunately, as of now, this still requires you to use the Peloton app on your phone. And I would love to see Peloton update their watch apps, which they already have for Android and the Apple Watch, to allow the watches to update your activities directly without the need to have a phone. And even further, it'd be great to see Peloton partner with some of the bigger sports watch brands like Garmin to either make dedicated apps on those watches that would allow for this, or at least just allow those watches to export and sync your data with the Peloton app, removing the need to always be using the battery-sucking Peloton app on your phone. And now, if you want to learn more about Peloton, make sure to watch this video right here about what I believe is Peloton's master plan. Again, this is Colin Jenkins with Connect the Watts. Appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next time.